What's going on, everybody? It's Carmine from Barmine Tech, and today we're going to be continuing on with the Raspberry Pi 5 Homelab server by adding a Plex Media Server to it. So if you're not familiar, in the previous videos we've done a Docker setup with it where we set up Docker and Portainer. In the last video we set up a network share using a Samba container off of Portainer, so we have a network share to share out a drive across our network as well as to use it for our Plex server if we want to. Now to continue on, we're going to be setting up a Plex server off of it. It's a super simple setup. We're going to go through the app templates in Portainer to set it up. We're going to go over how to map it to the proper shares off of that new network share that we made, and we're going to see how well Plex can actually run off a Raspberry Pi 5 using Docker. We're going to see if we can do any transcoding, and we're going to see how well the stream actually goes while we try to run it off the Raspberry Pi 5. So let's get right into the setup and see how this works. So the first thing we need to do is actually make shares off of the Raspberry Pi or somewhere else to have the Raspberry Pi be able to use for Plex. So being that we did make a NAS on the Raspberry Pi, I'm just going to use that right there. Currently I am in my NAS share that we previously made, and in here now I'm just going to make a couple of directories for Plex. So I'm going to do make dir Plex. We're going to cd into Plex, and then over here we're going to make another two. We're going to do make dir TV, and then we're going to make dir movies. So now if I do a dir, you can see we have movies and TV, and we're going to use these right now on our Plex setup. And if you have anything else that you're going to be using on your Plex, like audiobooks, songs, pictures, whatever it is, you can make directories here, or you can do it in the File Explorer on your Windows computer or Mac or whatever you're using as well, because this is a network share and it'll make it no matter what. I'm just going to be working with movies and TVs right now, so we're all set. Now we're going to go over to the Portainer setup for Plex. So over here, I'm over in my Portainer instance. So this is the one that we set up, again, in the first video of the series, just as a basic Docker Portainer setup. I'm going to come over here to local, and now we're going to come over to templates. And over here is where we're going to look for our Plex server. So I'm just going to search Plex. And over here you can see you have Plex. Of course there's also Jellyfin, there's MB, and there's probably others that you can get off of Docker Hub or anywhere else and install as well. I'm going to use Plex because it's what I'm most familiar with and I use the most. So I'm going to come over here to select the template, and we're just going to scroll down to show advanced options over here. In here there's volume mapping, and this is where we're going to be mapping the shares for our actual drive that we just did on the NAS. This is where we're going to map the shares that we just did on the NAS for where our TV shows and movies are going to live. So just to make it easy, I'm going to go into TV. We're going to do PWD. I'm just going to copy that out. We're going to come over to Portainer again. You can see here /TV. I'm just going to paste that in, and now we have the directory that we need for our network share to match up to the Docker container. So just to review, the container over here for the mapping is going to be what the actual Docker container is going to be using. That's what it sees as where it lives. The host side is where it actually is on the machine. So that's going to be your actual share coming off of the physical machine or the virtual machine that you're working with. Similarly to movies, we're going to just do that. I'm just going to change it to movies. Of course, if you name these anything different, you could do it differently as you have it. If you're going to be working with additional pieces of media like music, pictures, whatever it might be, you could just come over here, add additional volumes, and then you would just mimic it to be similar to how it is up here. So like I would do bind, we could do /pictures, and then I would do whatever my path is to my pictures. I don't have it, so I'm just going to take this out, but if you do, you could just do it right there. Other than that, we're pretty much all set on this, and I'm going to come over to deploy container. This takes about a minute to get the container deployed, so when it's all done, we'll be right back. So now over here you can see that my Plex container is running, and if I come over to the logs, you can see actually over here, I'm just going to uncheck auto refresh so the logs don't keep refreshing while I'm trying to read them. So you can see over here that I've already tested this out, so it's a little different. Your logs might show how it's building out, but over here it's just pretty much telling us that we can come over to localhost 32400 and we should be all set to access it. So what I'm going to do is come over and do my IP. So it's going to be the same as whatever your IP is for your Portainer instance. So for me it's .94, and then we're trying to do :32400. Then you can see over here we get the splash screen for Plex, and then it's going to come through to start the setup. So over here you can see now we are getting the first setup for Plex, and it's asking you to sign in. So you could either sign in with Google, Apple, or you could set up an account with Plex if you don't have one already. And you would just have to do one of these to sign in, and then you can start building out the Plex server. So I'm just going to sign in with my account really quick, and then we'll go through the setup. So during my install, I'm not able to get it to show actually how to set up the libraries because I already had an established server. So I'm just going to show it based off the settings. So it's not going to look exactly the same, but it's going to be very similar how we can manage the library. So I would just come over to add library, and now we're going to get an option over here so we can select movies, TV shows, whatever we're using. I'm using movies, so I'm going to continue with that. I'm going to click next, and now over here is where we're going to map it to the actual folder on our Raspberry Pi. So I'm going to hit movies because this one's movies, and then over here it add it, and we're going to add library, and then we would do the same for TV shows. So do that. We'd come over to next to select our folder, do TV shows, add library. Now it's the same options if you're doing music or photos, whatever it might be. It would be the same thing to do it like that. And then when you get into your Plex server after this is finished, they'll start scanning through those libraries and look for media you might have in it. One thing I like to do is come up to the library option, and you can do scan automatically. So, and then you can come over to how often you want it to scan. So by doing this, it's just going to make it that if you add new media over the course of, let's say, a week, you know, you put in some pictures or some movies or whatever it might be, it'll actually go back and check. You won't have to scan manually to show your media. So if you're wondering why it's not showing your pictures or whatever it might be after you add them, it's because you need to scan the library manually. One other thing you could do is you could actually come to movies or whatever yours is, and you can see over here it has scanned library files, and this will do it manually to make it start looking for the files. Okay, so now over here we're going to be using Big Bug Bunny, like I was saying, to kind of do a benchmark to see how the graphics will work on the server. So I do have the transcoding options to automatic still, so I am curious just to see what this Raspberry Pi is capable of. So I'm going to come over to Big Bug Bunny, we're going to resume it, and we're going to start letting it play. Now if I come over here, I'm going to leave it the original options just for the fact of I want to see how it runs natively. So we're going to hit play, and then I want to minimize it, and now we're going to come over to activity, dashboard, and now over here you can see there's not really much going on with the GPU. We're doing a little bit, but not a lot. Now if I come back over to those options, I want to see how we do if I convert automatically. It's going to need to buffer a little bit, and actually over here you can see now our GPU is starting to get a little bump up. So now I'm going to let that start playing again because it's starting to run out. So the GPU on the Raspberry Pi is actually starting to do a little work. We can see over here that it's still playing, and the Raspberry Pi GPU is just doing a little bit of work, but nothing too crazy, and that's because of how the transcoding settings are set. It's actually able to play the video. If I come back over to the transcoding settings, I can change the quality, so I can prefer higher speed encoding, prefer higher quality encoding. So right now it's already set to that. So I mean, we can see over here that it is playing, and the actual transcoder is working pretty well when we look at how it's doing through the CPU. So unfortunately, since we are using Portainer, we can't actually pass through the GPU unless it's using NVIDIA graphics, which is unfortunate. There's probably a way to do it in the regular Docker settings, but I'm not familiar with it, but I'm pretty content with how the CPU is able to transcode, and we are seeing that it is getting high quality 1080p. I'm not sure how many concurrent streams we'd be able to do at the same time, but we can see that it's actually able to play pretty well in Big Bug Bunny. It's a good baseline to see how stuff actually works graphic-wise. But that's really it for the Raspberry Pi 5 Plex server. Like I said, I just was curious to see what we could actually do with this, and unfortunately it's not going to be able to use the graphics, it looks like, but it is using the CPU. Now if I install Plex natively on it without using Docker, I might be able to then pull the GPU that's on board, or I might not. I'm not really sure, being of how the chip is integrated. However, the CPU is pretty powerful on this, and it does seem to be working pretty well to transcode, so I am pretty content on that aspect of it. Would I use this as a dedicated Plex server? Most likely not, because it's not going to be able to get really the horsepower that I need if I want to stream, let's say myself, and maybe somebody in another room wants to, or whatever it might be. It's a good for a simple little option, and something like Jellyfin or MB might be a better option as well. That's about it for the Raspberry Pi 5 Plex server build. I do want to remind everybody that I do have the giveaway going currently in the Discord server. You do need to join, verify, and you need to be level 3 by participating in the server. Be qualifying to participate in this giveaway. It is for an HP mini PC, similar to what I use on the channel to build out a Proxmox server or any of the other projects. Unfortunately, this giveaway will not be international. It will be for the United States only at this point, just because international shipping is not going to work just yet. If you do participate and you are international, we will figure out some other option, whether it's like a eBay gift card or something similar. But just make sure to go over to the Discord server and check out the giveaway section, because it does have all the information. And like I said, you do need to be at level 3 to participate in this giveaway. Other than that, I'll have links to all the gear in my Homelab below. I'll have a link to the Discord server as well if you want to join and participate in that giveaway. As always, I want to thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.